Imagine a ship so massive it blocks out the horizon, its steel hull slicing through the waves with unstoppable force, cannons looming above like ancient monuments to power. These were not just ships, they were floating fortresses, engineered to dominate the seas and inspire awe in all who saw them. Their presence alone could send a chill down the spine of any adversary, a testament to the might of the nation that built them. When these colossal guns fired, the ocean itself seemed to tremble for miles around, a thunderous roar of pure, unrestrained power that echoed across the water. The shockwaves could be felt by sailors and enemies alike, a reminder that the battleship was the ultimate weapon of its time. This was the battleship, a floating fortress, the ultimate symbol of national strength and technological achievement for nearly a century. For generations, these ships were the pride of navies, the centerpiece of fleets and the embodiment of a nation's resolve. These legendary ships, names like Iowa, Missouri, Wisconsin, New Jersey, were more than just machines. They were cities at sea, home to thousands of sailors who lived, worked, and fought together. Each battleship projected American power across the globe, serving as a floating embassy and a warning to any who might challenge their dominance. Their mere presence in a foreign port or on the horizon could change the course of history without ever firing a shot. Diplomats and generals alike understood the message these giants sent: strength, resolve, and the ability to shape events far from home. The silhouette of a battleship at sunset, looming on the horizon, was enough to intimidate enemies and reassure allies. It was a symbol of hope and fear, depending on which side you stood. But that era has come to an end. The last of these steel giants now rest quietly as museum pieces, their once mighty guns silent, their decks walked by visitors and veterans who remember their glory days. Technology moved on, and the battleship became a vulnerable giant in a world that now values stealth, speed, and precision over brute force. The age of the big gun ship faded as new threats and new strategies emerged. Aircraft carriers and missile destroyers took their place at the forefront of naval power, bringing new capabilities and changing the face of warfare at sea forever. Yet, the battleship lingers in our collective memory, a symbol of strength, courage, and engineering prowess that refuses to fade away. Their stories are told and retold, their legends growing with each passing year. Recently, this powerful idea returned to the spotlight, thanks to former President Donald Trump, who called for the return of these mighty ships to active service. His proposal sparked a wave of debate and nostalgia, as veterans and enthusiasts alike wondered if these titans could once again sail into battle, or if their time had truly passed. In an age dominated by cyber warfare, hypersonic missiles, and invisible threats, is there still a place for the old-school big-gun battleship, or are they relics, outmatched by the speed and precision of modern technology? Or is this just a dream of a bygone era? A ghost fleet whose call still echoes, even as the world sails on without them. The push to bring back battleships didn't come from military strategists. It came from Donald Trump himself, a man known for his bold, unconventional ideas and his flair for dramatic gestures. Trump has long been fascinated by symbols of American strength, and few things capture the spirit quite like a massive battleship cutting through the waves. He's spoken repeatedly about the psychological impact of a battleship like the USS Iowa sailing into a hostile harbor, describing it as a show of force that would make adversaries think twice before challenging the United States. For Trump, it's about sending a clear, unmistakable message of American might and dominance, not just military capability, but the raw, visible power that can intimidate and awe. Naval experts, however, dismiss the idea as impractical and outdated. They argue that the era of battleships has long passed, replaced by new threats and new technologies. Refurbishing even one battleship would cost billions of dollars, and these massive ships are now highly vulnerable to modern missiles and advanced weaponry, making them easy targets in today's high-tech conflicts. The Navy now values flexibility, speed, and network technology, qualities that battleships simply can't match. Modern warships are designed to adapt quickly and operate as part of a larger, interconnected force. So why does Trump persist? Because battleships represent a time when American power was visible, unambiguous, and impossible to ignore, a floating fortress that inspired both fear and pride. It's a powerful piece of political messaging, tapping into nostalgia for a golden age of American influence when the country's military might was on full display for the world to see. The debate is less about military strategy and more about national identity, collective memory, and the philosophy of power. What it means to be strong, and how that strength should be shown. Trump's proposal forces us to ask a deeper question. Did we lose something important when the last battleship retired, or have we simply moved on to a new era of American strength? Battleships are more than retired war machines, they're floating monuments to a pivotal era. For veterans and families, ships like the USS Missouri are sacred ground, representing sacrifice and victory. Their symbolism is rooted in raw, visible power. The Great White Fleet once circled the globe, showing America's strength without firing a shot. This gunboat diplomacy is central to the battleship's legacy and appeal. Trump's call challenges today's military philosophy of stealth and precision. The debate sitter distorts na storm. Is it better to intimidate with visible might or strike unseen with advanced technology? The battleship discussion is really about America's changing relationship with power. Even in retirement, these ships force us to confront what kind of strength we want to project. Battleships were the giants of the sea, mobile, heavily armored gun platforms designed for one mission, to deliver overwhelming firepower wherever it was needed. These massive ships projected strength and dominance, serving as floating fortresses that could change the course of a battle with a single broadside. The Iowa-class battleships, among the most famous ever built, boasted 9 enormous 16-inch guns. Each of these guns could hurl shells weighing as much as a small car, over 2,700 pounds, across distances greater than 23 miles. The thunderous roar of their guns was legendary, and their accuracy could devastate enemy ships and shore targets alike. Their thick steel armor, sometimes over a foot thick, could shrug off direct hits from enemy shells and torpedoes, making them nearly unsinkable in ship-to-ship combat. This resilience allowed them to take punishment and keep fighting, earning them a fearsome reputation. These ships are woven into American history, from the tragic loss of the USS Arizona at Pearl Harbor to the proud moment of the Japanese surrender aboard the USS Missouri. Battleships became symbols of both sacrifice and victory. They served not just in World War II but also in Korea and even the Persian Gulf, proving their worth across decades and conflicts. Their robust design and adaptability made them valuable assets long after their heyday. But this incredible power came at a steep price. Battleships cost billions to build and maintain, and required massive crews of over 2,500 sailors to operate and keep them battle-ready. The logistics of running such a ship were staggering. As technology advanced, the very things that made battleships mighty, their size and firepower, became their greatest weaknesses. They were too big, too expensive, and increasingly vulnerable to new weapons like missiles and submarines. The world moved beyond brute force, and the battleship became a relic of a different era. Many were retired, left to rust in mothball fleets, or preserved as museum ships to remind us of their legacy. Yet, even as relics, battleships remain the ultimate expression of a kind of power the world was leaving behind, a testament to human ingenuity, ambition, and the changing face of warfare. The battleship's decline began in World War II as aircraft carriers rose to dominance. Carriers could strike from hundreds of miles away, far beyond the reach of battleship guns. Naval strategy changed. Decisive battles were fought by carrier-based aircraft, not big-gun ships. Battleships shifted to supporting roles, shore bombardment and carrier escort. The arrival of guided missiles sealed their fate. Small, fast platforms could now sink a giant. Heavy armor was no match for precision-guided munitions, targeting weak points. The Navy phased out battleships after Korea, briefly modernizing a few in the 1980s, but their vulnerabilities and costs were unsustainable. By the 1990s, the last giants were decommissioned. The Navy embraced a new doctrine: carrier strike groups, submarines, and missile-armed ships. Today's Navy is built on speed, stealth, and precision, not massive guns. Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, smaller than battleships, pack more versatile firepower. Their Aegis combat system tracks and engages over 100 targets, from aircraft to missiles. Vertical launching systems fire a range of missiles: land attack, air defense, anti-submarine. Modern ships operate as part of a network, sharing information and coordinating strikes. Battleships were self-contained. Today's ships are nodes in a powerful web. In a world of precision missiles and cyber threats, the battleship is a liability, not an asset. Trump's battleship talk isn't about strategy, it's about a philosophy of power. He wants strength to be visible and awe-inspiring. Modern destroyers may be powerful, but their might is hidden. A battleship's is unmistakable. This visible power appeals to those frustrated by America's invisible strength. The battleship is a symbol anyone can understand, a direct, intimidating presence. For some, it's a call to restore American exceptionalism and never be underestimated. Critics argue this focus is outdated. True strength now lies in technology and flexibility. Investing in battleships would waste resources better spent on next-gen systems. The debate is really about two visions: loud, visible dominance versus quiet, technological superiority. Which vision should define American power? The battleship debate forces us to ask, what does power mean today? Is it a massive warship everyone can see, or the silent reach of cyber attacks and drones? Battleships are tangible, easy to comprehend. Modern power is often invisible: lines of code, stealth, precision. Some argue perception is as important as reality. Others say clinging to old symbols leaves us vulnerable. The future of power is about balance: visible reassurance for allies, invisible deterrence for adversaries. The story of the battleship reminds us to think critically about how we project strength. In a world of changing threats, what should power really look like? That's the question we must answer.